family that know about you and what you do. The second thing is business listings and advertisements. But when you think about what your ideal customer would be, it would be someone that already trusts you. They're already pre-sold on how great your product or service is, and they're ready to be closed. They're ready to buy your product or service, just like someone that was a personal referral. Now, someone that views your reviews online is almost as good as a personal referral, and I'll explain why. Now, this is a study that was done by Nielsen, and they found that 92% of people, of course, trust recommendations from people they know. I guess 8% don't trust anyone, but what are you going to do? But the next most important are consumer reviews posted online, which is even more important than an editorial in a newspaper or your branded website if you don't mix in reviews. So this just shows the importance of those reviews online. Here's another study that was done over 10 years and 50 million reviews. They analyzed this data. And they said actually 46% of people are out there posting reviews, 81 find them important, and 49 aren't even going to buy your product or service if they don't see reviews. So this just shows how important reviews really are.
Dan?
Yeah.
Where do they find those reviews?
I'm going to go over that. Don't
Okay.
worry. So just a quick kind of idea, just to get your mind going here. Which product or service, which product are you going to buy and why? So what do you guys think? Which product would you buy? C, of course. It's not just that it has the best rating, but it also has the most reviews.
Yep.
Because what they've found is customers look up about 10 reviews before they make a purchase. And they don't trust a business unless they have a minimum of 6 to 10 reviews. So it's really important that you have at least 10 5-star reviews if you want to get the most out of your online presence. So there's a lot of different products. And so you have your online things that are, could be a physical product that's sold online. It could be a digital product like an ebook or something of that sort, maybe a training course, videos, whatnot. And then you have digital services, you know, TurboTax or things like that. Does anyone here have like an ebook or a product on that's just online? Okay, got a few. So, and then you have the services offline as well as the products offline. So as far as the online goes, it's a little less, it's a little more fragmented. There's a couple sites that are important. If you have a product and you have it on Amazon, of course, reviews are important there. There's a website called Top 10, I believe it's Top 10 Reviews or top10websites.com. And that is important if you have a service online, because they will rate you based on other types of products, other services that are out there. So if you have a project management, like a Basecamp or something like that, they compare it and review your service based on other people's services. A really good way, if you have an online product, is to put in your product or your business name plus the word reviews to kind of see, you know, if someone were to look that up, what websites they're going to come across and kind of get an idea of what they're looking at. And also allow you to address any issues if you find any, or also thank people if they've left you a good review. If you have an online product, I've looked at a lot of internet marketing products over my years, and a lot of times people will go on forums and ask about a product. And if that's your product, you go and register on that forum and interact with the people there. It builds, you know, your likability and your trustworthiness with that group. As far as services and products offline, services, there's a lot of directories that have reviews. You have, you know, Yelp, Google, Yahoo, Angie's List, things like that. Of course, you guys know most of those.
Can you name that website?
Yeah.
You said the top 10 reviews for services. What was that called?
I don't remember the exact name. I'll get it for you afterwards, though. If you look up like top 10 reviews, I think that's what it is. It'll come up. So I just want to talk a little bit about the history of like what's been real relevant in the kind of search engine space, because it's really changed over the years. When you think about when search engines first came out, it was simply, okay, let's try our best to, you know, use SEO to get to the top of the page. And that's how you got traffic. That's how you got business from Google, Bing, and Yahoo, these big search engines. And then what became relevant was social media. Do you have a lot of fans or followers online? People were checking out social signals online. Now, social signals have been around for a long time in the offline space, but social media really made them relevant online. So this became the more important thing. People were starting to try and, you know, learn a little bit more about what other people thought about businesses online, and they used social media. Now, social media is still important, but review websites like Google and Yelp and TripAdvisor and all these others have come along, and that's what's kind of become the more important system right now, is a combination of the social media and the review websites. And how Google and Yahoo have kind of developed their system now is an integration as well. If you look at your Google Plus profile, it's what you have to have in order to go leave a review for a business. And Google has also, you know, become much more review based, and I'll talk a little more about that in a bit. And you know, Yelp as well. It's not just a place to go leave reviews. You add friends just like on other social media networks, and you see what your friends are up to and where they're reviewing and going to eat or use products or services. So as you can see, the online marketing game, it's changed a lot. And another really big game changer is Zagat Reviews. So now whenever you put in a company name and a city, of course this is more relevant for local businesses, but you will see this score. And this is a Zagat score, because basically what Google did is they bought out Zagat recently. And Zagat used to be just for reviewing restaurants, but Google has forced them now to review all types of local businesses. And they're actually going to start reviewing websites that aren't even in a local market. So that's something to watch out for. They're going to start having a Zagat score, a review score on actual websites like Basecamp or, you know, TurboTax, things like that. They're getting ready to implement this. So that's the next step. So make sure to look out for that.
What do you mean they're going to have them on websites?
So this, for instance, is a Google local listing.
Okay.
You know, you see the address and everything. It's for a local place. Okay. This is where Zagat ratings are shown.
Okay.
Is right here on local results. But I'm saying very soon, because they've started to do this, my business partner said he saw it on a few sites, they're going to start reviewing websites that aren't even about a local business.
Well, okay, so like they're going to review a TurboTax website.
They'll review a TurboTax, exactly.
Are they going to do it for
people,
little websites?
I'm not really sure. They
Okay.
haven't announced anything. It's just something
Okay.
I've seen.
Well, how do they determine how they're gonna score it?
Well, these are based on user reviews. That's how this score is calculated. I'll try and explain that. It's a little complicated. But basically, a Zagat score is between 10 and 30. Okay? It's calculated from a minimum of 10 reviews. So if you have 5 reviews on Google, you don't have a Zagat score yet. So you want to get at least 10 reviews so you get that Zagat score, because it looks better to customers. So a 15 out of 30 is a 2.5 star equivalent, and a 30 out of 30 would be the equivalent of a 5-star rating. When people go in to review you in Google, they rate you between 1 and 3 on a couple different factors. And that's how they eventually calculate this score.
What if a website has 0 reviews, then?
Then they don't have a Zagat score. Right, they need at least 10. So next game changer is basically SEO, social media, all of these things. You know, you can even see pay-per-click ads. I've seen this. It's quite devastating, I think. People are paying for pay-per-click ads on Google that are showing their reviews and their rating, and sometimes they have a 3 or a 2.5 star rating, and they're paying to basically put up there and show that, hey, they're not even that great of a business, but they don't really realize this. But that's what Google does in their pay-per-click. If you enable it, your rating and reviews are included in that ad. So basically, none of this is gonna work if you don't have a good reputation online, because it's just kind of gonna negate what you're doing. So reputation marketing is about positioning yourself as the market leader for when people are searching, thousands of people are searching for your product or service, they're gonna see yours has the best ratings and the best reviews, and trying to get to a 5-star reputation. I'm moving a little quick here. So basically, you're only one rating away from a bad review, and your reviews equal your reputation, of course, and that's everything. So there's 4 types of reputations. First, of course, is a bad reputation, which isn't any good. The next is no reputation, which is almost as bad as having a bad reputation. The next is a good reputation, you're getting there, but really, of course, what you want is a 5-star reputation. So the reason that companies usually get bad reviews is that people are motivated by one thing, and that's value. They have this image and this perception in their mind, partially created from their preconceived notion about a product or service, and partly from whatever you've done to pre-sell them on that product or service. You know, if you're saying that you have the best view in town with the best food, and really you just have a 2-star restaurant, people are gonna be expecting a lot more than what they're gonna end up getting when they're, you know, staring at the side of an Applebee's off of 75 and not off of Siesta Key. So when people have a perceived value and it's a lot, what they get is a lot lower than how much they actually paid for it, that's when it's a referable moment for them to leave a bad review. And of course, on the flip side is when they pay for something, they get more than what they really thought they were going to get. So although it's good to, you know, hype up and sell your service on or product on its good points, you want to make sure in the end it's best to always, you know, undersell and overdeliver, of course. So if you do have bad reviews, here are a couple pointers on what to do if you have those bad reviews. And I see some of you taking notes, which is good, but I do have a PDF that goes over most of what's listed in here with a lot of information that I'll give you guys a way to get at the end. So don't worry too much about taking notes, just sit back and enjoy. So when you're responding to bad reviews, you always, you know, the customer's always right. You always want to be empathetic and try and, you know, relate to the issue that they're having, and engage with them and you know, show genuine interest in their bad experience with your product or service. And in that sense, though, you have to know when to say when. And what I mean by that is you have to make sure that you are going to a point where you're not overextending, you're not bending over backwards to solve some problem or customer's complaint that, you know, if it is so exorbitant that you actually come out worse on the other end than trying to solve that problem with it. So, you know, I suggest giving a refund or a discount or a free offer. A discount or a free offer is better than a refund if you can, because it gives them a chance to re-experience what you're offering, product or service, and kind of, you know, it gives you a second try to turn that bad experience for them into a good one. And that's actually a great opportunity for a review, because if you think about someone having a bad experience, you know, say they had bad service at a restaurant and they didn't enjoy their food and it came out cold, they come back and have a really good experience on your dime, they are going to actually talk about that, because that's what people do. You know, they go out, have a bad experience, and then it turns into something great. They're going to tell people about that. So it's actually, you know, a great opportunity for people to talk about your business when you get them to come back in and get a good experience to replace a bad one. So one little tip: if you have a bad review on Yelp, it's actually good to offer a refund first if you have a bad review.
How do you send them an email saying I'm going to give you a refund, but
okay,
the deal is you have to get rid of that?
No, what he's saying is if you can kind of say, well, I'll give you a refund, will you get rid of the bad review? You have to be a little careful with that. You don't want to do it unethically. you know, the first step is trying to solve the problem, and then if you can solve the problem, then go back and ask them, hey, would you do me a big favor? You know, I went out of my way to try and help you with this. Would you mind going back and, you know, changing your review or leaving a response? It depends on the site. TripAdvisor, you can't remove a review. I believe Yelp, you can change a review though. But some sites, they're kind of set in stone. That person could go back and leave a new review.
Yeah.
But they can't always edit or anything.
Don't you want them to know though, don't you want other people reading it to know that you gave them a refund?
Right, right,
So
and that's
you would-
why, like for Yelp, you claim your business listing, and then you can log in as the owner of that business and respond to reviews. So you can
Right.
respond and say, you know, blah, 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 this is what I did, I refunded the customer, this is why I think he wasn't happy, etc. And, people will see that.
Not that I have any bad reviews, but what if you have a business that you can't give a discount, I mean, insurance, you can't give a discount,
You
you can't
can't.
give a free offer, so what could you do? in that
Hmm.
case?
How about free gift?
Free consultation.
Yeah, I mean, she
Your
said free
service.
gift,
Calendar.
Your service
Yeah.
is,
Gift card.
you're the
Yeah.
insurance agent, so
Gift
it's your
card.
service, and so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what they're, you.
that's a difficult situation, you know,
You're
I
not
mean.
allowed to, I'll answer
Yeah,
that, cause
I-
I'm ex-DIC, you're absolutely not allowed to go there,
Yeah.
don't go there.
There's a couple, you know, businesses that this doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
apply to as far as, you know, addressing bad reviews.
I personally don't believe in the last one there. You know, our company's had a couple of things like that happen to us. And I think what more people wanna see is that you responded to it,
Yeah.
you gave the answer, and you move on.
Yeah.
And once you do that, the business just keeps going. But
Yeah.
when you don't respond to it,
Right.
is where you have
Right.
a problem.
Of course, addressing it is always gonna be the first and most, you know, important.
You know, that response is so important. Don't get into an argument.
Right.
I saw a sequence recently, it was horrible. Is the owner just lambasted the reviewer and they came back and
Well, yeah.
I had an experience pre-internet with Arturo stores, and we found a piece of an ant in it, and so I sent it to them, so they sent me 4 coupons for free Arturo sauce. I mean, you didn't feel like buying anymore, you know?
Yeah, there's certain situations where, you know, it kinda turns people off and, there's no getting back.
Are there any tools to prevent like spam reviews, because there's some malicious people out there who will do
There are.
a bad review, they might be working for a competitor,
Right.
they might just not like you personally, I mean, I go onto Amazon, I'll look at a review on a CD or something, and, you know, I tend not to believe it.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of them hire people to give them good reviews.
Yeah, there are some unethical people out there for sure that hire people to create bad reviews.
Or good reviews.
Or good.
Or good reviews, yes.
Yeah, let me mention about Amazon. What the recommendation is look at the 2 and 3 star reviews, because those are probably the more honest ones.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a good
if-
point.
What I also see is in terms of reviews, it's sort of like Google, you never usually dig past the first page. You know,
Yeah.
you look at the first page, and you spent your 15 seconds of
Yeah.
content, and then you move on. And that's what I'm concerned about, like on the restaurants, like the perfect example.
Yeah, yeah, one of my clients, they had a bad review on Yelp. On the same day, that account left a bad review on 2 other restaurants in the same niche. It's a small niche, there's only 4 or 5 total restaurants in Sarasota that are this type of cuisine. And they left 3 bad reviews. They all trashed all 3 of those businesses in all 3 reviews. So this review was talking bad about these, and this review was talking bad about
Oh,
these.
God, they were bad.
So they're all 1 star, and they all talked bad. They were all the exact same day, as if that person actually went and ate at 4 Indian restaurants in the same day.
Wow.
And all 3 of the reviews said good things about the 4th, which they rated pretty good.
Oh,
Their place.
And I reported it, and I'm pretty sure that it got removed. So, you can report bad reviews to pretty much all of the sites. That one was really poorly done. It's not necessarily, you know, always that blatant, which makes it more difficult to get removed. So, it can be difficult, it can be done, it depends how bad it is.
Why wouldn't you want to just have like referrals on your website, from past customers and clients rather than, expose yourself like that on the internet where you would run into situations where people would just make up things?
Good.
Because I would think that once somebody's on your website,
Right.
if you have testimonials, on your website,
Mhm.
that people are gonna look at that before they decide to call you for your service.
Use more labels.
Yes, and I do, part of the strategy is putting reviews from your customers on your website, but you don't have a choice about being reviewed on Google, on Yelp, on TripAdvisor. These websites create a profile for your business whether you do it or not. So Yelp will create a listing based on another directory, just the fact that there's a business there, and people will review it whether you've gone and claimed that business listing or not. So you don't have a choice. Your reputation is out there whether you like it or not. So that's why you gotta address it, because it's gonna happen.
There's nothing wrong with asking your happy clients to go put a review up though, is there?
No, not at all. And I'll get to more of that.
Dan,
Yeah.
a two-part question.
Okay.
The reviews you're talking about, there's Google Plus, Yelp,
Yeah.
TripAdvisor, I mean, there's
A lot.
How do they determine which sites that collect reviews get indexed in the Zagat Score or ranked or whatever?
Okay.
And then the second part is there's a plugin for WordPress that allows
Right.
you to put reviews on your website. So
Yep.
your logged in users or whatever can create reviews. Will
Right.
they then be indexed as well?
Zagat is so Google reviews are Zagat reviews. I don't know why Google is such a great company, but they're still confusing at times. So Zagat reviews are only reviews that are left through a Google Plus profile on Google. So Yelp reviews stay on Yelp. So those reviews aren't aggregated from other review sites. The Zagat Score is purely from reviews left on Google. But that being said, Google is ranking websites that are review based a lot more. Like if you look up Pub Sarasota, the first is Yelp, the second is Yahoo Local, the third is a Yelp review or a Yelp listing, and then it's the Google local block with reviews. So Google is, you know, showing more relevancy to that.
Do you know of any plugins that integrate with the Google reviews that you could have on your website? So they're not just your
Right.
reviews, but they're Google reviews. That would be cool.
Right. I'm not entirely
There's
sure.
one, but yeah, not for-
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, and the reason is we have a plugin, my business has a plugin itself that we, you know, choose which reviews to show, so we decide, okay, let's use these reviews.
Oh.
So,
What, is it WordPress?
yeah, it's,
Okay. What is
part of
it?
Why don't we wait on that?
Okay.
Yeah,
So is there a, I guess, a measure that will go out and look at, you know, Yelp and?
good question, and I'll get to that, we have a site for that. So, now that we've, focused on the bad, let's focus on the good. So, when you leave a good, you know, it's not just about going and addressing bad reviews, it's also about going and addressing the good ones. Being appreciative, pointing out effort, you know, thanks so much for taking the time to actually go out and post a review about us, we really appreciate it, you know. And rewarding behavior. So rewarding behavior you have to be careful with, not just from a authenticity standpoint, but also a FTC standpoint, believe it or not. You have to be careful. There are ways that you can ethically and legally ask for reviews and reward your customers. So if I say, I have a restaurant and anyone that leaves me a review will be entered into a random drawing that at the end of the month, we give out a prize, a $20 gift card. That is legal because you're not saying, you know, if you leave a good review, I'm gonna possibly give you a present, or go leave a review, I'm gonna give you a present. Because if you say, go leave a review, you know, if you say every customer, I'll give an appetizer if they go leave a review, it's too directly correlated. They go, oh, I'm gonna go leave a review and get something in return. They're thinking in the back of their mind, oh, I need to go leave a good review, so to speak. So if you anonymize it and just give away, you know, 1 or 2 to a random group every week or every month, what have you, that is legal, it's ethical, and that's how I suggest that you would do it. So, you understand how reviews are important, where they're showing up, et cetera, et cetera. So now a little bit more on a strategy of how to get that 5-star reputation. And we do have a website that it is one that we own, just full disclosure, and it's badreviewsabout.me. You can write this down, or it'll be in the material later that I'll show you how to get easily. So you enter your telephone number for your local business, and they've changed a few things with the way the API works with whether you're listed or not. So don't worry too much about, you know, if it says you're not claimed on Google, but you are. But it will show you where bad reviews are showing up about your business.
What about the good ones?
Well,
that would be good reviews about me.
Haven't made that site yet.
Is it telephone number is the trigger? Or?
Yeah, you would just put in your telephone number, and that's how, because chances are you may be listed on some little known directory, or maybe you never claimed your Yahoo directory and they haven't linked in that you have a website, but they will always have your phone number. So that's why we use phone number, because you know it's unique about your business and it shows up everywhere.
Was that better reviews about .me.com?
No, about.me. It's a different domain extension. It's not .com, it's .me.
Okay.
So the perfect strategy involves developing your reputation by getting more reviews, marketing that through sales strategies and online channels, monitoring your reviews, you know, engaging with the customers about the good and bad reviews, and then also educating any employees that you have and making them really understand how this works and why it's important. So the first step, though, is getting claimed on these local directories. So going out and creating an account and claiming the listings. And in the free ebook that I'm going to give you at the end, we talk about the best way to go about that and give you a few examples on Yelp or Google on how you go in and actually claim those listings so that you can edit your business details and respond to reviews.
That's going to be in your notes.
Yeah, it'll be in my notes. So
Maybe you include this in there. If you have something like LastPass.com where it has an autofill,
yeah,
that way you can stay consistent with
exactly.
It'll just autofill it.
Yeah, I believe we mentioned that in there, but if not, I do want to mention that. If you didn't hear her, LastPass is a great plugin. I believe they have it for Firefox or Chrome, and it allows you to store information that you would be inputting into these websites when you're registering or when you're editing your business info. So you can just at a click of a button put in your name, phone number, email, website, hours of operation, things like that. So save you a lot of time because there are a lot of directories out there.
And it's called LastPass?
Yes, LastPass. Yeah.
Spell it?
Last, L-A-S-T, pass, P-A-S-S.
Okay.
You want all your citations to be exactly
Right,
the same.
exactly. You want all your citations to be the same because, like I said, Google is finding review and directory sites more and more important. So when you have consistency across all of these websites and you have, you know, you're claimed on 30 of these websites and on all of them you say, I am a photographer, I am a photographer. Google sees that in their algorithm and it helps you rank better.
I just did your thing.
Well, good. But do you have
But it said Yelp not listed, and I was listed on.
Like I said, they changed it a little bit since we've created the system that checks that, so it might not be accurate. So, but whether it gets bad reviews or not, it is. But like a lot of times you'll claim your business listing, but if you go to the page, it still looks like it's unclaimed. So it's really hard to know unless you actually go try and do it.
So once you're on all of these local directories,
Right.
you have to go there to check your
Reputation.
Your
and reviews.
reputation?
You do, yes. There are, it's in one of the slides and also in the literature, the ebook. There are 2 websites where it's I think $30 or $40 a month, and they monitor everything, so if you get a bad review over here, they'll like email you, instead of having to go out and check 20 sites a week or 50 sites a week. So it does save time, but it does cost money, as opposed to just trying to monitor it yourself.
Now, the bad reviews about me, that will list the bad reviews,
Right, if it came up with 0, then you probably don't have any bad reviews on
but
it.
it will list them as links, or?
It'll say where they are, and it'll have the actual review. So once you're claimed in the local directories, it's all about getting reviews. So when you first start out, you want to go to past clients or friends and family that you would feel have an accurate view of your company and would leave a review. You know, if it's like a resume. You're not going to go ask someone that you had a bad relationship for a recommendation to put in your resume to give to a future employer. Just the same, you don't have to, you know, it's not wrong to differentiate and say, well, you know, I had a good experience with Bob but not with Steve, so I'm going to go talk to Bob. So, because there's nothing stopping Steve from going out and posting a bad review on Google. There's nothing you can do to prevent anyone. The best that you can do is try and direct them to talking directly with you, and I'll talk about that. So, you want to start with close reviews, and you want to email them or talk to them in person, call them up on the phone. In an email, you would want to, you know, explain, hey, we're trying to get more reviews on our Yelp because people are looking at our page there. Would you do us a favor? And make sure to go and get the link directly to your Yelp listing or to your Google Plus profile and put it in the email, so it's a lot easier for them to do instead of trying to get them to go out and search for it. Creating an early customer follow-up system. So basically what this means is some type of system that allows you to immediately after you deliver your product or service, tell the customer that you want a review from them and what to do about that. So how we do it is we set a private review page on our client websites, and then we ask people to go there and leave reviews. How you could do it would be you could hand them a postcard, and you could set up a page on your website with links to the places where you want reviews, you know, to TripAdvisor and to Yelp, and say, hey, would you do us a favor and go here and go leave us a review? We'd love to hear your feedback. If you link them directly to those websites, you don't have the chance to address any bad reviews. They're just going to be out there. So another way that you can do it is you can send them a survey and ask them to respond in private through an email, or set up a private review page like we do and have them leave the review directly with you. And then if they leave a good review, you could say, hey, would you do me a favor and go post a review on Google? And if they leave a bad review, then you can talk to that person personally, and you can try and address it behind closed doors. Like I said, there's nothing stopping them from going out and posting a bad review on Google. But if you direct them this direction, they are more likely to leave the review with you because they realize that they're actually going to get hurt because you've gone out of your way, or your employee, to ask them about their experience.
Can only personal profiles on Google, or can businesses leave reviews for other businesses if they have a business Google page?
No, I believe they'd have to create a personal profile to leave a review.
So, but then it would link back to them,
right?
And so you can let them know, you know, it actually helps both of us because people will maybe look what they had to say. And
right, exactly.
Can they hyperlink, like, can they hyperlink something in their review?
Yeah, I believe so. Honestly, don't know off the top of my head. You know,
I'll check.
Sometimes they allow that stuff. Sometimes they don't. They're all over the place with that.
How many reviews would you ask customers to follow through? I mean, if you give them a list of 20 sites, they will just be overwhelmed.
Yeah. So I say the sweet spot is 3. I would list 3 and say, hey, would you leave a review on one of these pages?
One of them, not all 3.
I would just ask them to leave one review. Yeah. and then give them
they'll
the 3
do it.
options.
Then they'll do it if they wanna do all
Yeah, if
three.
you're like, hey, will you go leave me 5 reviews on one of these 20 sites? Yeah, they're gonna be overwhelmed. They'll be like, oh, well, I'll do this. I'll put this at the bottom of my list. Stuff that gets done a year from now.
What's the top, side?
The top sites, it depends a little bit on what your niche your business is in. If you're like a tourist related thing, like one of my clients, just a web design client, but they do kayak and paddleboard rentals, and their biggest thing is TripAdvisor.
Right.
So, you know, hotels and, you know, fun things like that, TripAdvisor is really important. It's a little less important when it comes to restaurants. Yelp and Google, I would put at the top for restaurants. If you have like a construction type of service that you provide, like electrician, plumber, I'd say Google, and Angie's List is important, but it is used slightly less because it is private. Customers do have to pay to sign up for it, but it is still important.
How about, Better Business Bureau?
Better Business Bureau, I haven't really looked at that too much. They don't show up in search results very often at the top, and that's kind of what this is about, and that's what's most important, is what's showing up the first 5 or 7 results.
A comment about Better Business Bureau. I will tell you, anyone under the age of 35 doesn't care a thing about what Better Business Bureau has to say.
It's really kind of somehow like, you know, it was kind of there before all these review sites in a sense, but it never created that social aspect that people are drawn towards to really get it relevant, I think.
That's what we did when we started several years ago, is we went on getlisted.org.
Right.
And then we did the 5 or 6 that was listed there, Google, Bing, Yahoo, Hot Frog, you know, those.
Yeah.
And then we noticed that a lot of our stuff is now populated over into some of those sites that you did.
And that's a good point, actually. Get Listed is a website where you can, I believe it's paid any which way you cut it, right?
No, it's not paid.
Okay.
You go on and just put your name and your zip code.
So they do the basics. I believe they do have like a higher package.
They do have
that's
a paid version, yeah.
right? So you can get more, but yeah, they do. I guess the basic ones for free. And yeah, what a lot of these smaller sites do is they take information from the larger sites. You know, all these sites are aggregating data from each other. You know, Google and MapQuest and Yellow Pages. You know, they're all doing all sorts of things behind the scenes that we don't see. So yeah, when you get listed in the main ones, these smaller sites will, over time, aggregate that data from those main sites.
I think it's a good place for everybody to start. You know, if they haven't done it, it's a great place to start, and they're not overwhelmed, you know?
Yeah, that is a good point. Get listed, yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention how interesting this is. It's an extrapolation of just us ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how we live. It's what's going on with you, yourself, your friends, your neighbors.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Would you know, what was your experience like? What'd you
But
do today?
what are you about? Then it gets portrayed outward. So
Yeah.
how do you really handle business?
Right.
How do you handle your relationships? I mean, it's been going on for 10 million years.
Right.
It's been electronic press.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Integrity counts.
Yep. So, say you send out an email to someone, you could include, like, you know, if you're sending it out to someone that you know, like a friend or family or someone that you know has had a good experience, you could include, be like, you know, here's a review that someone left on TripAdvisor that's great. Gets their mind thinking and makes it easier for them to you know, write a review if you know, use a random review to encourage more. Like I said, emailing the links. The business cards with instructions for leaving reviews are good. You know, if you have a business where you print out a receipt, putting it on the receipt, take out food or something like that, putting it on there. The product, putting the postcard or, you know, whatever type of material, print material in there, you know, asking for their opinion. One thing that I saw that was interesting, I was leaving a Tires Plus, and right as you went to leave, there's a giant red stop sign, like a vinyl or sticker on the front door as you were exiting the building. It was like, stop. If you know, weren't completely satisfied with your product, with your service today, call me, I'm the owner. Now, that's good, but it's not asking, hey, did you have a great experience? I want to hear about it. It's just simply, see, that's reputation management. And that's why it's not as effective, because it's defensive. It's saying, oh, you had a bad experience, now let me talk to you. Reputation marketing is about increasing and focusing on the good and doing the best you can to get more good reviews and appreciate people that like your products and services. So yeah, on your website, you know, linking to your different profiles, like linking to Yelp and linking to TripAdvisor, things like that, and also posting those reviews on there. So as far as marketing and how to use the reviews once you get them, one thing to get is video reviews. And you can ask someone to do a video review, which is a little, it can be good, but at the same time, it is more work. And it does involve more technology, so not always the easiest thing to do, but video reviews are incredibly powerful. And if you have the opportunity, if you have a smartphone, it's good enough quality, pull it out, and you know, take a video of your customer, you know, just ask them to do it real quick. It can be 20 seconds long and still be effective. And you can upload it to YouTube, it's really easy. So don't forget about video reviews.
Another point about those is that they're right there, their immediate person is in the energy.
Yeah.
Positiveness, because I've done that several times.
Right.
And one time, I was talking up some girl's product, she says, well, let's do a video. And we just found a blank wall, and it was 30 seconds, and it's on her site.
Yeah. And people, like, they will trust that even more than just some text on paper.
Are they able to upload it to from their Google, does it go on the Google reviews?
You can't, currently you can't upload videos on any review sites,
so this
really.
would just be for...
Maybe I should start a website like that.
There you go.
There is a Google question, a place where you could...
Right, you can upload a video, yeah,
right?
but you can't like post it as a review directly.
Okay.
So, you know, I suggest just posting it on YouTube and then, you know,
Sure.
embedding it onto your website.
Tagging it.
Yeah, and tagging it, of course.
SEO tagging it, right.
Right, yeah.
Somebody enters your industry.
And a little SEO tip, because Yahoo has such a high page rank, sorry, YouTube, Yahoo too, but when you link and you send link juice to a video that links to your website, because of how powerful YouTube is, it actually flows through.
This may be a semi-rhetorical question, but what content should be in a video review?
Okay. So basically, you want them to maybe introduce themselves would be good, I think. Just talk about their experience with the company, be like, you know, hey, my name's Dan, you know, I went to Dr. Bill's Dentistry and, you know, I had a great experience. He recommended that I get this type of filling instead of this, even though this one was more expensive. You know, he recommended what was right, and, you know, he did a really good procedure, and I really recommend it. Something like that, short and sweet and simple. So just kind of introduce yourself, you know, why you're leaving a review, what you liked about the product or service. That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't recommend actually writing a review for them and ask?
Many people said the same thing.
So no, you don't want to write it for them, but that doesn't mean you can't ethically help them figure out what to say, you know, based on their experience. Be like, okay, well, you know, just talk them through, like, okay, well, you know, what did I do for you? Well, I got new fillings. Okay, and why do you like the fillings that I gave you? Blah blah blah. You know.
You could have like 3 questions, and you could be asking them so that they're answering you, and then you can edit out your part if it works.
No,
or
leave
you
it
could
in.
just,
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, which I should have mentioned. So thank you for that. But yeah, you know, you can ask them a question. You know, they don't have to see you; they can just hear you. You see the person, be like, you know, what'd you like? You know, how long have you been coming here? Oh, I've been coming here 9 years. Blah blah blah. You know.
So they're just answering it. That way, they're not nervous about it.
That's a good way to do it as well. I think I had a question over here.
We do the same thing if we try to let the customer do it themselves.
Yeah.
But if they can't, then we'll step in and we'll ask the questions.
Right.
You know, and so we're both in the video and just ask them 3 or 4 questions.
That's even better if you can have someone hold the camera and then
Yeah.
you know you can get more FaceTime on the camera.
And do you recommend a transcript in the YouTube description?
That would definitely be more optimized if you put a transcript in there, you know, if you go the 9 yards, link to your website, tags, transcript, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean,
Maximize your views.
right, the main focus is just, you know, having reviews, but if you wanna go the extra step and work on SEOing it, so that, you know, maybe it might even start showing up in the search results, because YouTube videos do show up in search results, so, you know, if you wanna go that extra step, it is helpful.
One of the problems that I see on my magazine and my websites and my restaurants
Yeah.
is that when I want to videotape somebody, I better have a signature in a document from them.
Yes.
Because they immediately want to turn around and it's like, if you put me on the internet, I'll sue you.
Right, so, yes, you should be, if, you know, if it's not like someone that you feel you can fully trust, who has given you verbal consent, then yeah, you can find a generic, you know, release form online and have them sign it saying, you know, I have permission to put this video with, you know, your face in it online, and things like that. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind when it comes to videos.
Wouldn't you just ask that question in the video?
I'm not a lawyer. Legalese is, I have a little skill in it, but, okay.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, alright, let me, get through, and at the end, if we have time, I'll answer more questions. So, but we've actually covered a lot of this from your questions about the website. Social media, so here's something I wanted to, touch on. When you get these reviews that are great, they are great content for your social media profiles. So, when you get a great review on Yelp, you know, copy and paste that review, put it in a Facebook update on your Facebook fan page, or even on your personal account if you want, whichever. Put a link in back to where the Yelp review is and say, oh, we just got a great review, thanks so much, so-and-so. And that's easy content. You know, everyone's always talking about ideas for coming up with content for your social media profiles. That's a great one right there. You know, it's interesting, people enjoy reading about users' experiences, and it gives you things to keep your profiles, you know, updated frequently. You can post them on, you know, LinkedIn as well. So,
how far can I go back? Cause I got,
you can say, you know, here's a great review we got a year ago, you know? It's just up to your discrepancy.
Aren't you worried about duplicate content?
What's that?
Aren't you worried about duplicate content when you've got things?
No, that, I honestly think that's a myth. Don't get me started on SEO.
What you would do is you would make a screenshot of it, post it on your Facebook page, where people can see it right there, and then that's just an image.
Yeah. I honestly, I think duplicate content is a myth in my opinion, so I would not worry about that.
Yep.
But if you want to worry about it, then yes, you can use an
They
image.
have a canonical tag for that.
Why don't we let Dan go through it, and then if there's a time at the end, we'll.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
zip it.
Yeah, zip it.
So, I actually don't suggest the use of QR codes. I would say what we use now is actually a text-to-review system. So we ask someone to text in like review pizza to the number, and then we set it up and they get back instructions on where to go to leave a review. Whether you have a private review page set up, you link them to that, or if you have a page with, you know, different links to your directory listings. So why I like text to review is because people lose postcards, they forget about emails or don't check, or it hits the spam folder, worst case scenario, things like that. Text messages are personal. People, almost everyone texts, even grandmas and whatnot. So you don't have to worry so much about that. If they use the internet on a computer, they probably text on their phone. So text review, it's stored in their phone as a text message. They can think about it later and go, oh, well, it's just in my phone. They don't have to try and remember a postcard or anything like that. And if you set it up correctly, you can even then remarket to those people that have agreed to leave a review. So once they've subscribed, if you set it up correctly and explain to them that you're going to send them promotions and things like that, you can then market to those people in the future. 2 weeks down the line, you can say, hey, we're having this event, and you can text it out to all those people. So text message marketing is really effective, and it's something that high use for a lot of businesses. But you know, the postcards are still good and important in some situations. So a product that you're delivering or whatnot might be better use. A postcard might be better use than trying to get them to text. So just kind of got to analyze how your business fits in. Of course, email templates, just talked about the text review, told you about the prior review page. So these are just kind of some overviews. I kind of already talked about these in detail. You know, the social media and the videos and the emails. Newsletters, if you have an email newsletter, you can also put reviews that you've gotten recently in there and say, now here's some great things that people have said about our latest product or service. You know, so you're just telling people about XYZ you just started offering, but you've already gotten a few reviews about that. That's a great way to, like I said, pre-sell them and get them excited and, you know, really liking your product or service because other people have as well. That's social proof. So you can manually monitor your reputation by creating feeds, and it's quite complicated, but you can do it. There's instructions in the ebook for that. But otherwise, there are these two websites. I think they're around 30 or 40 bucks. And like I said, this is listed in the ebook as well, so you don't have to write this down. But those track and alert you to any reviews that come up. So if you'd like to leave us a review, I don't, these don't go anywhere, they're just feedback. So what I've done is I've used text message marketing here, and if you text reputable to 96362, pull out your phone, do it right now. It's going to send you a link. It's going to give you a link which you can go to get the ebook that goes over everything that I've talked about today with instructions and details and all these links. So, and I will not market to you guys, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just, and when you opt into this, tomorrow at 1 you'll get a text message with my personal info if you want to talk to me more about anything. Instead of me giving you a business card, it'll text you my photo, my email, my phone number, and links to my website. So even if you don't want the ebook, but you'd like to know how to get a hold of me, text us in and you'll get a text tomorrow with my virtual business card, so to speak.
Right after you told me to zip it, he said two things that just jumped out of my chair. First, the comment about the grandmas, and just teasing. The other thing about the QR codes. I'm the QR diva.
Oh, I'm
sorry. Alright? And no, don't be sorry, because
Okay.
let me tell you, I was able to scan from this far away. I
Yeah.
scanned that QR code, it's about that big. It
Right.
popped me right up to the physical therapy center review thing where I could
Right.
do that. To me, that's so much easier than
Right.
reputable, all I have to just scan it.
Yeah, it's easy for you, but the amount of people that understand QR codes is down around 30 to 40%, and of those people that understand how they work, another less than 100% actually know or actually already have an app installed that they're familiar with using. So although QR codes are the easiest to use if you're familiar with using them, they have a much lower much lower acceptance rate than text messages, and that's why I like texting better, because it's so universally used that
Okay,
I'm
gonna
not
try
trying to get
text
someone to
you.
understand.
But then I have to get all the stuff on my phone. It doesn't come in an email, because then I'm stuck with the PDF on my phone, right?
Well, I mean, you could look at the address and
Can we get the
put it
PDF
on,
if we go to your website, to the
Okay.
Reputable Marketing?
I don't have it linked on that review page, but
Try the
I mean,
text. I'm a grandma.
you'll see it's a short URL, but if you open it on your phone, you'll see the address, and you can just go on your computer and enter it in.
Well, we can enter that in, if we go to your website, then we can enter in reputable.
I'm saying once you text in reputable, then you'll have the link on your phone.
And you can put that.
Wait, what's
And
the
you
other
can-
message you got?
What's that?
There's another message that comes out.
But who do I text reputable to?
That number.
Yeah, it's, that's, see, here's the thing you want. So when you sign up for, a text message, subscribe, when you subscribe to something like this, in order for regulations to be compliant, I have to say how many I'm gonna send a month, and, you know, how to unsubscribe. So that's why that first text message comes up. So.
Okay, so I have to put that number in my phone as a contact in order to text you?
You just hit new text message, you put in 96362, and then you type in the word reputable.
It says that it may incur charges when I do that.
It's just a standard text message, it's not like a premium subscription or anything.
Okay.
It's just, just a regular text
I'm
message.
telling
You get the
QR
step-by-step
codes.
guide.
Survey,
Okay,
look at,
just one person at a time, please, and, two more questions.
Okay.
Does the PDF come in the computer, or is it gonna come on the phone?
The link is in the text message, so you can open it on your phone and then see what it is and type it on your computer if you'd like. So you can open it on your computer, yes.
So that's the portal to go through.
This is just an easy way for you to have the info on your phone so that it's always with you, so you can go home and have it.
It's just really awareness that texting is really the next way to reach your audience.
Yeah.
So we might as well get used to this. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
that's the next thing.
Yeah, you may not see it out there, but Applebee's, Guess, clothing companies, Abercrombie & Fitch, Tropical Smoothie, you know, Carrabba's, they're all using text messaging campaigns to reach their customers because email is almost dead in a sense because of
Right.
the blindness that we've attained based on how much emails that we get. So this is newer, people aren't, you know, overcome by it yet, and it works really well, you know.
Like
all
a
the case studies.
97% open rate or something like that.
What's that?
It's got like a 97%
Yeah, it's like
open rate.
92% of people open a text message within the first 5 minutes. And what makes that great is you can market to people right before an event or right before you want to alert them to something. Say you have a restaurant on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday lunches are slow. You can text out on Tuesday or Wednesday and have people look and see and come into your business, and you can, you know, use that in real time. Instead of email, you have to hope that they'll remember at the end of the week or something.
Do you have to get people's permission to text? Cause I find that annoying when I get text messages from people I don't even know.
Right, that's why you guys are signing up. I don't sign you up. You have to text in. This is your way of opting in, just like if you go to a website and you enter your email to opt in, this is the same thing. It's just you're texting in this word, that's how you opt in. You can also set this up on a website to where people can put in their phone number like they would an email to sign up for this.
Okay, one more and.
It's not even a question. I just did
Okay.
it. The first time I've ever done
Okay.
this in my life, and it comes back, and then you have a choice to cancel it. I just did it. It's the first time I've ever done it.
All right. Okay.
No?
You're not a grandma though, are you, Rebecca?
Yeah, but.
Okay.
Is there one more question?
Yeah, so,
There's always one more question.
okay, we need to end the meeting. I want to thank Dan and,
Let's thank Andrew.
And I'm sure that Dan is not going to run out, so if you have any questions, he'll be around. Also, I'll have a copy of his PDF on a review post of this meeting. Okay, so you won't miss out. Let me just mention a couple of things. Next Friday, the workshop on finding the right keywords. Okay, if you want to know more about it, I have a flyer on the table there. Next week we'll have a a number of hot seat sessions. And the hot seat sessions are, we'll throw up websites and have other people or all of us critique it, okay? And those sessions are extremely valuable, you know. So anyways, thank you for coming, and have a great long weekend, a safe one, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
If you can't attend next Wednesday, you want to get involved.
Thanks. Okay, we'll see you. No, because those That's what you want. If it's something that laws people if it doesn't, what is the How are you?
Good to see you.
Sure.